What's up, everybody? Renfail here. Hopefully, you are doing well. Had some questions today during the live stream about which skills are the best skills in the game. And that's a tricky question to answer because it's kind of going to depend on what you want to get out of your playthrough, but I can sort of give you my take on things now. I'm getting pretty close to the end. I'm level 29 right now. I'm almost max level. We are in the final stages of the game. So now that I'm getting towards that final stage, I feel like I actually have enough information to maybe answer this, at least from my perspective. So the way this game is set up is that you are not meant to be a jack of all trades. It's very much a game where you are meant to specialize in a couple of different areas, three at most, but you're never going to be able to max out. Like it's going to be two maxed, three maxed max, and then that's it. So I've got my points spread out a tiny little bit. I went speech first, lockpick second, and then I've got 3 points in guns and 1 point in observation. Which, if I took a third point, I could have maxed out leadership 20 20 20 and then put a couple of points in something else. But the reason I have my points spent the way I have them spent, and I talked about this in my build guide, is because I wanted to be a speech primary character. Because there in games like the Outer Worlds 2, generally speaking, um, pretty much every encounter is going to offer you a non-combat way to get through the encounter. When you're talking boss mobs and leaders and just the quest in general, there's always going to be speech based um, ways to get past things. But also in games like this, there are often quests that you wouldn't be able to otherwise access if you didn't have a high level of speech to convince the NPCs to do what you want, or to convince them to do certain things or say certain things or give you certain amounts of information. So I've always looked at that as, in terms of, if you want the maximum amount of XP and you want to have the maximum amount of quests, you want to have the maximum amount of opportunities to do things in the game, then speech is always going to be a really, 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 really good starting point as like the most important skill that you might want to consider. Which is why on my first playthroughs, I will almost always have some sort of, usually a stealth based character with speech. But in this case, I didn't want to do stealth, and there are reasons for that. I wanted to try something a little different this time, but I still did want to go speech primary, so that's why I did that for me. Lockpicking for me has been very useful to get me in through lots of different areas and lots of different chests and lots of different crafting materials and special loot, which has been useful for my crafting and my modding, which I spend a lot of time crafting and modding, so that has been very useful to me. However, if I had to go back and do it all over again, I would probably not take lockpicking as my secondary skill. I probably would have went with hacking or engineering. And the reason I say that is because lockpicking is extremely useful. Um, but I would also argue that by breaking down components and also there's a perk you get with leadership, which allows your, what is it called? Busybodies? Your companions gather crafting materials and items for you while you're away from the ship. That's a leadership perk. But I feel like that has allowed me, along with just breaking down all the things I come across, I have had more than enough crafting materials to make all the ammo, all the mods, everything I've ever wanted. And so I do feel like if I had to go back and do it again, I would pick engineering or hacking. And engineering and hacking are both useful for a lot of the doors that you will come across. You can almost always find a way around, usually through some sort of event that you can sneak your way through. But if you're looking for the quickest way to get someplace, hacking and engineering are going to be a better option, I feel, than lockpicking. Because just there's so many doors I've come across in the game, not just doors even, but also like machines that have had extra information on them that I haven't been able to extract. And so there have been quite a few quests where I haven't been able to get 100% of the optional completions because I lacked the ability to hack a device and extract the information out of the device. And by device, I mean like the terminals that you're interacting with, where you can like read through people's logs and stuff. A lot of those are going to have some sort of hacking and or engineering associated with them. You will also find quite a few throughout the game that have like science and medical attached. But I do feel like engineering and hacking, one of those would have been um, better than necessarily doing lockpicking, if that makes sense. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Apart from that, I would say that if you're looking to get the most out of combat, the sneak, and I think some other content creators have touched on this slightly. Sneak is extremely OP, and if you are looking to just decimate the battlefield, sneak is going to be an extremely potent option, especially I think more so if you're using silenced weapons as opposed to melee weapons, because even right now my character, I'm using a silenced pistol right now. I have no points in sneak, and I can still, generally speaking, go through and kill if there's like 5 or 10 enemies on the field. I can usually take out at least 3 of them, sometimes more than that, depending on the positioning, just with my base, like no sneak points whatsoever, and using a silenced pistol and slowing down time. So if you're looking for, just decimating the enemies, sneak is a really, really, really good option. The way it is right now, science and medical are going to give you a lot of really, really, really good lore. Um, in certain areas. I mean, all that's the thing though, is like every single ability on this list, every single one of these skills is useful at some point because you're going to come across so many checks in the game, and that comes back to you really do have to specialize because all of the best in terms of like the best options in conversations are going to have high skill checks. And I have come across quite a few level 20 skill checks, especially when you're getting towards the later stages of the game and you're trying to get like the optimal outcomes, um, which are not the only outcomes because there are lots of different ways that you could have an outcome in this game. But being able to manipulate speeches in that way with the speech, having a 20 has been great. And there's a lot of cool perks that I've been able to get off of that. Like Grim Visage, which is over here, and Tall Tale Teller. But Grim Visage, which has been great because I've been able to essentially just terrify people into doing what I want them to do with just staring at them. It's great. But Tall Tale Teller has been great. And then there's a lot of cool perks that you get, which are secondary to the skills. Um, like I get 20% damage bonus because I have this speech-based perk. So the perks really do tie into the skills themselves, and so it is a symmetry game of going in and saying, well, what skills are going to suit my playstyle the most, and go from there. So, like I said, I think for me, speech definitely is the most important skill, I think, for any character that's going to be going through the game. If you're looking for optimal out, outcomes for all the quests and everything else. You really want to make the game sort of bend to your will. That's going to give you the most options. I think hacking or engineering are great secondary or tertiaries. Lockpicking is not a bad way to go if you just want lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of loot. I'm very happy with that decision, but I don't mind not being 100% satisfied with it because I always play these types of games 2 or 3 different times to try out different builds. So I already know that the next character I take through is definitely going to be going engineering and hacking, and probably sneak is going to be the tertiary for that character. And I'll probably just literally max those 3 and not worry about anything else. At least that's the current plan. So that's my take on things. Obviously, there's lots of opinions out there. Mileage may vary. I'm having a great time playing the game. Hopefully, you're having a great time playing the game. If you are, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. And check out the playlist below too. Lots of other guides, including my Ultimate Beginner's Guide to the Outer World 2. And hopefully, I'll see everybody in the next live stream, which happens every single day on YouTube, Twitch, Kick at 4:30 a.m. Central, and again at 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. See you next time, everybody.